How you going, mate? I'm the Dusty Bogan.
Yeah, my name is Quang Bui. I am the president of the Vietnamese community in Queensland.
Oh, awesome, man.
Yeah, okay.
And you're here raising awareness of what's happening with the communist China.
And also the action of the Vietnamese communists in Vietnam.
Yep.
They are planning to have the 3 special economic zones in Vietnam. Each of the special economic zone is about 10,000 hectares.
Wow.
And if we lose that 3 zone, that means we lose 1/10 of the whole surface of Vietnam. Yeah, to China.
Wow. I work with my Vietnamese workmate.
Yeah.
I've been working him for 8 years. When the story first happened, he said, Ben,
Yeah.
I have to tell you, because he knows I'm a bit politically minded. I know what's going on.
Yeah.
And he told me, he said, big problem with Vietnam with the Chinese and these economic zones. And I was like, wow. He said, like, a lot of people protested in Vietnam. Like,
Okay.
they riled up and so...
Really, the Vietnamese communist regime, they want to stop people to protest against that sort of arrangement between them and the Chinese Communist Party.
Yep.
So they call the cyber security law. That means they stop people to communicate with the people outside. And that sort of law will be applied from the 1st of January of 2019. But they will copy exactly the same law of China.
Yeah.
China at the moment already have that. So they control the communication of the whole people from China to the world, and Vietnam will do the same. So to stop the 90,000 people in Vietnam to communicate outside. So we are here. We have the duty to speak on behalf of the 90 million Vietnamese living in Vietnam.
Yeah.
On top of that, we are very worried because I am here for 43 years as a refugee.
Yeah.
And I can see that the Chinese Communist Party, they are going to infiltrate Australia. Into Australia.
Yeah.
They already bought a lot of land, a lot of ports, and a lot of area. They're not only doing that here, they've already done a lot more in New Zealand. They already
Pacific Islands, everywhere.
Pacific Island and everywhere. And you can see that they want to build the naval base in Vanuatu.
Yeah.
And that if they are succeeded doing that, that means the security of Australia will be in trouble.
And we have such a beautiful free nation. Why we want to throw it away to communist China?
Yeah.
And Chinese people are fine.
Yeah.
It's just the idea of communism. It's poison. Control.
Mao Zedong in 1959, he said that one day Australia will be new China. So that means they already put in the mind of the children in 1959 to now.
Wow.
That the people in 1959 to now is nearly 50 years.
Yeah.
So in the mind of these people, one day Australia will become new China. So that's why we want to introduce that information. I already spoken to Professor Blaney. He's a historian, Australian historian.
Yeah.
He said he knew that. So recently we went down to Canberra to speak to a lot of our politicians. We informed them what happened in Vietnam and what happened here. We already lost Port of Darwin, Port of Melbourne, and Port of Newcastle. And 3.5 of the big companies supplying electricity to Australia are in the hands of China.
Yeah.
And they want to take over the company which supply the gas to us. See, you can think that if anything happened, one day they shut down the electricity, they stop supplying the gas to us. How can we survive?
Yeah.
We have no electricity, no law, no water, and also no gas. How can we survive? So you can see that.
Yeah.
So that
they already have the stronghold.
Yeah,
they're already in a powerful position. And silly Australia, we need to wake up, don't we? We need to be. That's what you're doing. Wake up, you silly Aussies.
We
don't want the same thing happening to what happened to Vietnam.
43 years ago. Now we say that's too late to change the communists in Vietnam because they control very well. You can go out on the street, 1 or 2 person. If you 3, they keep an eye on you. And if you suddenly you stop, they will come and arrest you, tell you to go, move, keep moving. You're not allowed to walk on the street and you can stop. And they worry about protests in Vietnam. So they, we the community.
It's not a free nation, they're not free.
Not free, no human rights. And we plan with our community in everywhere else in the world to have the protest. Today, we have the protest, similar protest in America, in New Zealand, in Europe, in Paris, and also in Germany.
What a great job.
We coordinated. And not only here, we got in the other states as well. New South Wales, South Australia, Northern Territory.
Man, you're a friend of the Dusty Bogan, because I'll tell you what, I do not like this communism, so...
Thank you very much for your support.
So much, my friend.
You are Australian. Yeah, very good.
Bless.
We fight for our country, yours
right,
and mine.
I will fight with you.
Yeah.
God bless. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you. Thank you for your support.
I'll put it on Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
So maybe I can get a card off you. Do you have a card or?
No, I can write down my name for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even any of you young people on Facebook, and I could then become friends with them on Facebook, share it.
I can tell him. He's the main organizer. I tell him to come and talk to you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe even this young man, you know? Yeah. Gonna get him on Facebook, and so we can share this out to all the Vietnamese community around the world. So, what a legend. Thanks, eh?